Good morning. My name is Heather Kelley-Thompson, and I serve as the Deputy Director for the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation's Future of Nursing Scholars Program. Since we do only have a little bit of time together, that's where I'll focus my efforts this morning. But since I'm the only rep from Robert Wood Johnson, I do want to tell you a little bit about some of their future plans. Mind you, these are tentative titles, so if they change 6 times between now and the call for proposals, you won't blame me. I know there's been a lot of discussion around some of the new funding priorities that the Foundation has discussed, and it really focuses around their desire to build a culture of health. This has been a long-time focus of the Foundation, and they're organizing these programs to feed that mission. The 4 new programs, and again, working titles, and I'm going to read this so I don't get it wrong. The RWJF Interdisciplinary Culture of Health Research Leaders will engage researchers from multiple disciplines, clinicians, public health researchers, economists, and more, and others in and out of the health sector to produce evidence that will drive change toward a culture of health. The multi-sector Leaders for Health will develop, harness, and leverage the collective power of individuals and their networks already in leadership positions in traditional health and healthcare-related areas that may influence the culture of health. And then the new clinical scholars will develop an interprofessional group of clinicians who have already attained a terminal clinical degree, which would include nurses, physicians, pharmacists, and more, to continue to expand their understanding and contribution to a culture of health. And the diversity in health policy research will support doctoral students from disadvantaged or underrepresented backgrounds from different disciplines to focus on health issues and policy. The plan is that these calls for proposals will be out in the fall, and I don't have any more specific dates on that, but if it's something that you or your schools might be interested in, I would encourage you to sign up for the RWJ funding alerts if you haven't done so already. But what I'd really like to talk with you about is the program that I support, which is the Future Nursing Scholars Program. This program has been designed to support nurses to get their PhDs in 3 years. This is a multi-funder effort, and with the support of our Funders Collaborative, we were able to support 16 nurses in our first cohort, and we've recently announced that we will support 49 nurses in our second. And I'll talk about that in a second. But first, I wanted to talk with you a little bit about how we plan to prepare these nurse leaders for their future. The program is focused on developing a transformational leadership model, which you see there, which encompasses policy, science, leadership, and innovation. The program that we've designed is to enhance what the students are already learning at their home institutions, but these are the principles that sort of guide our efforts, and everything that we do with the students comes back to this model a little bit. We're also very interested in helping them to learn to work interprofessionally and to value diversity, and so those threads also run as a current through our program. Through the support from RWJ, the National Program Office, which is housed at the University of Penn Nursing, which is where I work, and our Funders Collaborative, the program will provide support, which would include not just financial, but also the leadership program I just mentioned. So in regards to the financial support, each student would be provided $75,000, which would come from the program, and then it would have to be matched by a school's contribution of $50,000, which can be in kind, and you can ask me about that when you come down to talk to me. And then this money would be used over the 3 years at the discretion of the scholar and the school. And again, you would really get to chart how that would go, and we can talk about that as well. Also, we will be providing to them leadership development through a variety of different sources. The first would be a boot camp that would happen before they even begin their doctoral program, and that would be at our expense. They would come to that boot camp. And then they would also have 2 summer institutes that they would attend with their primary mentor. The first one, they would alternate. Science and Policy is one, and Science and Innovation is the other. Then there's also a series of webinars and other smaller virtual events over the course of the year in between our in-person events. These are the members of our most recent funding opportunity, and this question about the multi-funder aspect is one of the ones Every time I say this program is complicated, and here's why, there's actually like 6 more reasons the program is complicated. This is the first reason the program is a little bit confusing. It is multi-funder, so it's different than what a lot of RWJ Scholars programs looks like. But RWJ has made a sizable contribution to this program with a $20 million investment, which includes not just the program office and the infrastructure, but the leadership development program itself, as well as the funding of many, many, many scholars in the program. And we'll also make some postdocs available. But we're also bringing in other funders who will provide support. And again, it's the 75 from the program, which would come from one of the funders, and then the 50 match from the school, so that those students each have $125,000 to be used over the 3 years. Okay. So the role that the funder will provide is that, again, the $75,000, but also they do have the opportunity to provide to us guidance about their funding interests. This is important. So if there are geographical restrictions that a funder has, or if there are programmatic focus that they want their scholars to be looking at in their research, they have the opportunity to tell us that. You, as the applicants, then tell us which funders for whom you would be a match. So if there's a funder that is local to you that you think would be interested in working with this program, they would be able to restrict their funding to your geographic area. So let that settle and then come talk to me about that. So here's the eligibility. The schools have to tell us that, first and foremost, you have to demonstrate that you can do it. That 3 years is tough. We know that's tough. Some of you might want to come up and tell me that why it's tough, and I already know, and I believe you. You can come if you'd like, though. I'm ready. If your school hasn't graduated students in 3 years, that's not going to rule you out. But show us how you can. Show us your plan, and show us how you're going to tweak your current model or adjust your plans to do this. We also want to know about what type of mentoring activities you do at your school. This is important to us. The students are going to select a primary mentor that's a nursing mentor, but we're also going to ask them to select a mentor from outside of nursing, and we want to make sure that you're on board with that. We want to know about your interdisciplinary engagement across your university, faculty and student diversity, and your typical trajectory for graduating these folks and what they're doing later. Then the scholars have to be willing to accept this. This is tough, we know it. They have to be ready to commit to themselves to 3 years and really be focused on what's the goals that they're going to do to get them there. Now, this slide shows you, I wanted to specifically show this to you. I know it's small, but this shows you in the top map, cohort 1, where the number of scholars break down, and then cohort 2, the number of scholars per state as well. What I don't have on here in the interest of time is that another map that shows where the applications came from. It's very indicative of this. So the applications came in, and I'm not saying that it's always going to match up, and I'm not making any promises, but you don't get money you don't apply for. So take a look at the map, and then take a look here. So if your state is not up here anyplace, let's talk about that. And if you don't have as many scholars as you'd like, let's talk about that, and let's hopefully encourage you to apply to this program. And it is challenging, but come and talk to me about that. So this is the tentative round 3 timeline. It might change a little, but it won't change much. So you can almost take these dates to the bank. And then third call for proposals will come out in the summer. We're hoping to have all of our funders lined up in the next couple of months. So again, if there's any you'd like to send my way, you come and talk to me about that. And then look for the call for proposals in July. You have a lot of time to get ready, and you can call me as often as you would like to talk about your proposal and tips and ideas. The deadline's going to be in September. Then we're going to let you know in December, with the idea that as you're getting your applications in from students who want to apply to your program, you'll be able to talk about this opportunity to them and gauge if they can do it and what you think about that. The new grants would start in August, and then they would probably come to the boot camp in July. So I'm out of time, but I thank you very much, and please come talk to me afterwards. Thank you.